Oh, yeah.
So I will bite my tongue, tame these emotions.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 11 of No Small Podcast, talking about Taming Tongues. Today we are on
Waging war.
Keep. We are on Keep, which is song number 10 on the record. So yeah, this is a different song.
Not really. It's probably pretty much like everything else we've ever done.
Pretty much. Junk.
Just trash. Yeah, it's just trash.
Worthless. So this song is for the ladies in our lives. This song is one lady in my life.
I have multiple ladies in my life. It's just one in particular.
Our ladies in our lives. That's exactly how I said it.
The
Precision
ladies
of
in our
language.
lives.
Jeez.
Goodness.
Make me have to edit.
None of us have multiple ladies.
Well,
Or
now that we have
in some
that
cases,
cleared
any
up.
ladies.
Yeah, and some of us, we have none. And just good grief. Now that we've cleared that up,
JT, get it together, bro.
Okay, I'm ready.
all right. Well, we
He's gonna
decided.
look like he's crying at the beginning of the episode.
Well, he is. He is, because this song just moves him. So we decided to write a love song, entitle it "Keep." Yep. So JT, this was one of your ideas. Now that you, now that you're back in serious mode, so I don't know why did you have this idea?
Did I have this idea? I don't remember me having this idea, but I do remember. I remember. In the context of the entire album, we're talking about communication, right? And so we've already talked about backstabbing, not healthy, or like
Unhealthy.
a kind word to a friend, good, or whatever. But I guess this one's a little bit more intimate in that we're talking about like a vow or a commitment or a covenant that you have with your spouse, and like the weight of that, like what that means and all of that. And so it's I don't know, it's a different perspective about communication.
Yeah, I know a lot of people when they hear this, like at first they think that it's like between God and us, but it's not. It's really between us and another person. Like as far as the perspective of the song, I think I've read that somewhere. Someone was just talking about the album and kind of had that read on it. But as far as like what the song is actually about, if you listen to the lyrics, it's from a spouse to another spouse, or from someone that's in a covenant like that, not necessarily between God and people, but between spouse and spouse.
Yeah, I mean, but too, we didn't write it any differently than how God looks at us. We model marriage, husband and wife, off of Jesus and the church, and so that correlation is definitely there. But I mean, for us specifically for this song, it was it was specific to each one of our individual one wife. Okay, I just don't want to turn this into, he said our wives.
We're not a Mormon band.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to
We're
edit
not.
I'm gonna have to edit that out too. So yeah, this is a little different take. But Yeah, I mean, I think JT, when you were talking about I think you initially said you wanted this to be about keeping promises, vows, and I was like, well, what better way to extrapolate on that than to talk about marriage and those of us that have said those I do's and those what is the face?
My cat clawed me.
Oh,
It hurt.
I thought you were giving me this. He just said something stupid, and I'm like,
No, my cat clawed me and it hurt a lot.
oh my gosh. Anyways, we're never gonna make it through this episode. Um, but we're going to keep on going. What? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like yeah, like when you and I were batting the idea back and forth, the I don't know. I really liked the idea of doing keep, and so I'm grateful that you stuck that not only just into the song but like into the chorus. So
Spun it in there for you. I tried to work magic on it. It's all,
appreciate that.
you know. So yeah, this is one of the first songs I think that I'd actually come up with something for. Other than even. This is probably song number 2. But this song was not even anywhere close to finalized until just before coming into the studio to track it. Never could find a verse that I liked. Never could find a verse melody that I liked. So I had the chorus originally, and originally we had it in 6/8, and we were kind of going off of that. And I don't know. This is one of those songs where it just kind of came together, and I just love how it just fell into place. Back when we were writing No Small Tempest and writing Wretched, we had talked about kind of a brand new Jesus Christ feel for that song, and then I completely changed it and made everybody mad, and so we kind of departed from that. Yes, Brandon, that happened.
No, it still reminds me of that, so I don't know how that changed. Other than, anyways.
Moving on.
Nothing like that. Okay, nothing. So, anyways, we got up there and yeah, we were writing, and I started to play around with that first little guitar thing that starts the song off, because we decided to, hey, let's put it in 4/4 and see how it feels, and did that, and then immediately was just kind of popped off a melody for the verse, and kind of just ran with it and went from there, and then the chorus kind of fell into place with that. One thing I really love about this is the just the difference between keep and two being back to back is something we were worried about for a long time. How is that? How are these songs going to go off of one another? And something I really like is that the drums really never change. It is that straight boom, 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 like that entire time. And
What's funny is when we were writing that song, I don't know why, it just reminded me of Weezer. So I just got that in my head, and that's the way I played it.
well, and like the thing that I really appreciate that is about the drumming of this song is that when you're writing music and you're writing with other people, and you're looking at lyrics, you're listening to lyrics, you're listening to the song in general as you're like putting your part down to it. And I don't think we did this on purpose. It just kind of is how it came to be. But the whole chorus talks about that, I to my wife, I'm going to be the one that keeps time, that keeps, not like, hey, you're late. But come on, hurry up. But that constant, steady, anchor, right? That's what I want to, be for my wife. When I say, the vows and commitments that I made to my wife are that, I'm not going to be a flighty person. I'm here. I'm going to do what I need to do as your husband, as the father of our kids, to be steady and secure. And so the chorus line is keep in time. I'm on your side. And I just love how the drums, which are the backbone of the song, right? everything builds off the drum and bass in the song. And when the drums aren't doing what they're supposed to do, really the whole family the whole family of instruments kind of fall apart. And so the drums just throughout the whole song are just undergirding what the lyrics are saying is just keeping a consistent, steady time. And everything else is able to flourish off of that consistent, steady time, much like a well balanced, well rounded family. And so yeah, I just really liked how that. I mean, and it wasn't anything I think that we did, super on purpose. Like, hey, let's make sure that we do this. I think it's just something that happened, and we were like, yeah, that feels good, that sounds good, and it doesn't need to be anything more than that. And especially coming off of 2, which is probably like the craziest drumming that you do on the record, the craziest instrumentation I think that all of us individually do.
Sure.
So I don't know. What were you thinking when you kind of sat down and were looking at drums for this song?
Yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, man, it really like it just popped in West Virginia when you started playing that part, and just for one, it took me a second to go from the 6/8 version to 4/4. Like I don't know why. There was just like a weird disconnect in my brain that I kept like trying to, because we'd been listening to the demos, and it was like my brain kept trying to hear the 6/8 version of it, and then you were playing like it totally sounds right now, but it was like when you started playing the 4/4 and then singing, like singing the melody and stuff over top of it, I was like, this is just weird. And it was partly like at first I didn't know what to play because I didn't know what I was hearing, or I was trying to like work through that. But then like once we really kind of put all the pieces of the song together, like verse, chorus, verse, and all that stuff. I don't know. Like I said, it just like it reminded me of Brand New a little bit, but I don't know why. It just like that. Um, oh man, what is that song? I don't know why, but it reminded me of that song Beverly Hills by Weezer, even though it's like totally not anywhere close to that. But just like that slow and steady like feel is what I just felt. So that's what I played, and I remember being in the studio to go to like track it, and like it was a part of me because I always want to do something more, that like wanted to play something else, but then when I really thought about it, I'm like, I don't know, it didn't really need anything else. So we just laid it down like that. What's funny is I remember the when we did the Taming Taste Buds like album premiere here, our buddy Andrew Buchanan, he came up to me after the dinner and was like, dude, that song Keep, I'm proud of you that you literally just like played the same beat the entire song and didn't like do some crazy fills, or didn't like throw some stuff here and there or whatever. He was like, that's exactly what the song needed. He was like, I really appreciate the fact that you could like do the craziness and then also just play in the pocket. Shout out to my boy Questlove.
Everybody
I think
appreciates your selflessness.
Yeah, I think we've glossed over it a little bit, but like the change from the acoustic 6/8 version to the electric 4/4 version was like a really big deal. I remember us like pounding our heads in West Virginia, like trying to make this 6/8 version work because it was just so beautiful, and just like it just felt right. But then when we tried to introduce more instrumentation into it, it took
It was
away
weird,
from
yeah.
it took away from the power of the song. And I think we had slotted like what, it was like 3 songs a day, right? And so that was like the evening session, I guess, like the last song for the day. And so
Yep.
we had tried like a bunch of swooshy, pretty stuff, and it just wasn't happening. And I think that the biggest inspiration for me was Foxing's Night Channels.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And so like seeing them do that 4/4, and the rhythm with that was a little bit different, and we tried to play around with that. And I think we ended up stripping it back and making keep even simpler than that. But yeah, it was just it was really tough to make that switch. And I remember like that vocal melody, the initial vocal melody that we had for the verses, where it had like that tag at the end. I remember like us stripping that out at the last minute too.
Oh yeah, I remember you and I going through the song, and we had like some weird '90s melody. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was like ba da 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 ba da da
Oh,
da da
I remember that.
da da. Yeah, because
Yeah,
it was like the end of the first line was like rapping over the beginning of the second line.
yeah, but I even think there was something before that I did that was like super weird.
Gonna have to dig through the demos.
Yeah, I'll have
Well,
to.
You mean like
which,
the original demo?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
we
yeah,
posted
I
online.
actually listened to it the other day.
what changed all that was Sean came up with that riff that sort of went with the melody.
Mm-hmm.
And once that riff fell into place, it really changed the way that the song felt a lot. And it honestly, it brought it more into our vein too. I think. I mean, it really was cool. One thing I really like about the song is the way that the verses bleed over into the choruses. So, like, for those of you that maybe haven't dove into the lyrics way too much, but like the first verse, the verses are talking about time. When this happens, and then the chorus talks about, you I'm going to be there, right? I'm going to keep in time. I'm on your side. So like the steadiness of the chorus with the different times of life of the verses. And so the first verse, when the good times are there, and the second verse is when everything falls apart, basically. And so in both instances, that's juxtaposed with the steadiness of the commitment that you made in the chorus. And I just think that's really cool lyricism. I'm a little biased though because we wrote it, but I really do like what we did with that.
Um, talking about the drums and that guitar lick. Sometimes when you get stuck on stuff, you've just got to kind of try the song in a different vein. Try it in a different key, try it in a different time signature, try it in a different tempo, and see what you come up with. But when we laid this down, we wrote it, made the major switch to 4/4 in it, and then came into the studio to write it. And something that really changed the song, elevated it even further with the instrumentation, was Waldman when you came in with that blues lead in this song. And I always love it when you go, Josh and I, well, we all met Josh back in 2006.
7 for me, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks. 2006 so I've known him longer, Brandon. Okay. So, haha. But I remember that Fender Strat that you had and the PV amp. And,
Blues
you
30,
know,
man.
and you were straight up blues player. I'd never played with a blues player before. But like, that's what you did. And, we kind of just started crafting a sound that was, kind of from, my background, the stuff that I had written and played in blues. And so, we've kind of come from here and here and kind of more
Mhm.
come closer to the middle as the years have gone on. But I always love when we're able to dip back into that blues guitar feel. And I think the song was perfect.
I was nervous about it. I was really nervous about it because, I mean, Taming Tongues is our heaviest album that we've ever done. And
I'll just say this: whenever I leave you up here writing, and I come back and you're like, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, is usually like it's usually pretty gold.
or it's way the heck out there and I can never learn how to play it again.
We sit
Uh,
there like, are you sure you were in tune?
yeah,
Are you sure you had the right key?
yeah,
You told me it was no, dude. That's not the right key. Oh well, look, it sounds cool, so let's do it as
yeah,
the end of even. Um,
right.
so, but yeah, I mean, and I kind of like a lot of blues music is really a call and response
Mm, yeah.
type deal, and so I really liked originally in a lot of the verses was a lot of lyricism over top of each, like what JT was saying, it was just over top of each other. And I just really like how, I dialed that back and I let kind of the lead actually, be a band that actually has lead guitar.
It
And
It
vocalizes the lead
yeah,
vocal.
it filled in the gaps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what blues does. I mean, that really is drawn on the blues influence there. But like I said, I was really nervous about it because Taming Tongues was a heavy record, and obviously, I don't think there's many blues songs on Face Down. I don't know, but I would guess there probably hasn't been many over the years. So
doesn't
uh,
Comrades have one?
I don't know. Do they
Yes.
really?
Yeah.
I was joking, but
No, they really. It's like a.
please
It's
name it,
not.
Brandon. Please name
Yeah,
it
I'm trying to think.
so that everybody
I
can tell you how wrong
Yeah,
you are.
I'm sure Joe and Laura may want to
I
chime
mean, it's not straight
in.
up blues, but there's kind of like a bluesy riff in it. It's like a. It's swung.
Well,
I guarantee you
there's
that
a lot of bleed over into indie rock and post rock with blues elements, and that's certainly true. And that's why Sean
West
and
City's
Laura
Burn.
get together. But yeah, this song was really blues, and I don't know, it just kind of lended itself because it was a love song. It kind of. I really like just the track without the vocals. I thought it sounded cool.
Yeah, it sounds much better without vocals.
Yeah, we can agree on that. I'm just kidding.
How can we agree? Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean, we talked about some influence on that. I know Brand New was definitely an influence. Brandon said Weezer. I was really kind of pulling from Thrice Anthology, The Weight, um, kind of the feel for the song. I don't know. Was there anything else that you guys were? I know you said foxing as well. Um,
I remember you also pitched Pieces, Rob Thomas,
oh yeah, love me some Rob Thomas.
and Remedy by Adele.
Yeah.
I like we were really trying to get into like, all right, what is a love song or whatever, and so like just really honing in on those songs. And even though like it musically doesn't translate at all, I think there's like some emotion, probably some.
Sure.
Sean could probably speak to it, but some vocal delivery and stuff. That
I'll throw this out there. Buddy Guy and Albert King for the lead. Not that any of you fools know anything about that. The three of you, that is. But
That BB King?
No, man, Albert King. Albert King and Buddy Guy.
Is that BB King's cousin?
Nah, dog.
Oh, okay.
brother, father, son.
Nope.
His stepdaddy.
Whole lot of Kings and blues. I don't know why. Albert King, Freddie King, BB King.
Elvis
Elvis.
Presley, the king.
Oh Lord.
All right, so hold on. So like most of the time Brandon like interjects and he says, I don't think we did this intentionally. And then we always correct it. That was always the but for this what is it during the bridge where you talk about through the fire, through the famine, through the flood, like I could be wrong, but this was unintentional. It was intentional that we were talking about natural disasters, but like the deeper meaning, like where we define what those natural disasters are earlier in the album, I don't know that was intentional. And so like when we're talking about through the fire, through the famine, through the flood, like those three things literally will keep our promise. But like when we're talking about like in two, the wildfire, the tongue is for blessing and cursing, or we talk about the famine and the drought and infertility and stuff like that, and through the flood, like spiritual isolation and like the need for community and stuff like that. So was that intentional? I don't know.
We talked about it.
Well,
I thought those were just filler words in the demo.
Yeah, I'd actually kind of use those as kind of some filler lyrics. The half of the chorus and then that bridge was what I had originally written, just sitting down, playing this song. And it was really kind of before we really had this natural disaster subplot thing like as like, okay, we're going down, that rabbit trail for this record. So yeah, it was cool. I was actually just thinking, you have famine is oh my gosh, famine is kind of like a strange word. Some of those words are, words that are kind of, you don't hear very often in songs. So, I mean, something I really intentionally like sat down and was like, let's write around this, but kind of just something that came out.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and
I
it
think
worked. Actually, that's what sold me on it. Is that I thought he was going to change the words, but then when I heard it, and I was like, you know what? That actually makes sense with everything else that we're singing about. So I was like,
yeah.
yeah, dude.
No, I think that's a testament to the fact that like when you like because we crafted a framework for the album and for the songs and we've got the theme and then we've got like a sub theme and a thesis and all that stuff, like even like it's intentional even when it's unintentional.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, I think that wraps up Keep.
You
Thank
don't
you
want to
guys
keep going?
no, I think that's pretty good. I think we've pretty much wrapped that up.
Can't keep belaboring the point.
No, we can't keep going on. So yeah,
But my heart will go on.
oh my god.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, we've got one more episode after this. Thank you guys for supporting us and for listening, and hopefully you get something. If it's just for the comedy and the laughs.
We're not funny at all.
The
No,
cat videos.
yeah.
Who doesn't love a cat video, honestly? Because you hate animals.
I have no animals.
You have no soul.
I guarantee you that Ub will, as the face down historian, will tell us which face down artists have done blues songs. So
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
Kimberly, she's
Yeah.
good like that. So
I think they were on Dreamt. I'm actually serious. I think it was like Liars and Thieves.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week for the last episode from Quiet.